6:42 this morning, and time now for our Morning Cup of Joe segment. And we have Assistant Sheriff Chris Jones with us this morning, live for Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo. It is great to see you, sir. Thanks for being with us.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Well, we want to start with the funeral for Lieutenant Erik Lloyd. We know that's happening a bit later today. Sounds like he was very involved in the department. Can you tell us about him and the plans for today?
Of course, it's very difficult on us and very difficult on, the 1,102 families who have lost someone to this pandemic. Erik leaves behind a loving family as well as his Metro family. So today we're going to honor him. It is considered a line of duty death. We will adhere to the restrictions for funerals during this time, but we are going to make sure that we honor him in a way that he deserves. He did so much for the Injured Police Officers Fund, him and Mindy, and he is just going to be very, very missed here with our family and certainly with his family.
Oh, it's so sad. We send our condolences to your department. Switching gears, last week there were 2 ATM thefts. What are the details on those, and is that something you're seeing more often right now?
So not so much more often, but we do see them here in the Valley, as well as we tend to watch them across the country because people will tend to come to other jurisdictions to try and steal those. They're very difficult to steal, and once they do take them, they're difficult to get into. So not very lucrative for people who take those, even though you might think they would be. Obviously, you can see there in the pictures that they use heavy equipment, they use chains, vehicles to try to get them off their foundation, and then soon find out that they're very heavy, they're very cumbersome, they can't really get into them, and oftentimes leave them in the area. At this point, we're still investigating the 2 that you spoke about. We do not have anybody in custody, but it is an active investigation, and we should be closing that up soon.
Do you have reason to believe it's the same person in both of those incidents?
There are indications that it might be, but we're still, oftentimes you see more than one person involved in this. So sometimes you'll get crews that will tend to do this, and then they'll break off and involve other people. That's the difficulty, and it may be some of the same people involved, but not always the exact people.
Yeah, it's bizarre. All right, so recently a man shot a family dog in a domestic violence incident. Of course, that's extremely disturbing, but also, could that be a warning, another warning sign of extreme violence?
Very disturbing, and it is an indicator of potential violence. In the 2019 legislature, they made it a felony to maim, injure, or kill an animal for purposes of fear or intimidation. And it was largely based on our domestic violence laws, but it's still a felony across the board if a person does that. And officers, when they go to these types of situations, they're prepared. They're aware that this is an indicator of future violence. And what they do is they provide the victim of that situation special services. There's plenty of services here in the Valley that can really help with those situations, and certainly make an arrest on the offender.
All right. Last question here. Almost every night here at Channel 8, we hear calls about street racing and car burnouts. How does Metro handle those, or can you even track them down after a call is made? I'm sure it's not easy.
They are difficult to catch because it happens quickly. And they are gone very quickly. But we do know most of the areas where they take part in these activities. We do have a response plan that includes patrol officers, traffic officers, our air unit, and also in the last legislature they made it a misdemeanor to trick ride or participate in any of these street racing competitions or facilitate one. So even the people who set them up now, we can arrest, we can prosecute. It is a graduated offense. In other words, if you get caught the first time and you're convicted, the next time you do it, it's a gross misdemeanor. And then certainly if somebody's injured or killed, it'll become a felony. So we have a plan in place to do this. Please continue to call us when you see it or hear it. And also let us know if you know of a place where they tend to participate in these activities, and we'll make sure that we step up patrol in those areas.
Very good. All right, Assistant Sheriff Chris Jones, it is great to see you. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Have a great day. If you have a question for Metro Police, you can submit it to us on our website, 8newsnow.com, and find out if your question was answered every Wednesday.